Hello, and now this is okay, ask the question, is this pre-recorded? Yes, it is. Consortium targets Salford takeover. So yes, this happened the other night. I figured this is the best way to do it. I just hit record. It was too late for me to record an actual video, so I figured the best thing to do would be to just hit record and see what developed over a 10-minute period. I've shortened it down, as you can tell from the length of the video. I think this is the shortest video I've ever done for a series. So yeah, we were subject to a takeover. It was a nervous time. I don't know. Well, this is either two things. This is either the beginning or this is the end. And by the end of this video, you will know what the situation is, and I will leave it to you to decide what we do next. So as you can see, going through, it was a waiting game. We were in sort of the process of a takeover. You can see there, in the process of a board takeover. It was just left to me now to sit and wait. Essentially, £14.25 million for someone to buy us. Essentially, that was the value that we'd got ourselves up to, which I'm quite proud of, I guess. The pitch had been relayed, so that probably added a little bit of value. But it really was just a waiting game. It was sitting, waiting to see what would happen. And because of the takeover, we obviously had a transfer embargo. We had a few bids coming for players. You'll see that throughout this short sequence. And because we couldn't buy anyone, I figured it'd be foolish for me to sell anyone. So as you see, we're just going through and waiting, and every time you get more news, we're interested to see what that news is. England won the Euros, by the way, which, I don't know, 2020, what is it, 4? Yeah, it's a mad time for us all. Ipswich made a bid for Pedersen, 1.4 million overall. I think if it was around the 2.53 million mark, we might have let him go. But we're still in that situation of, we can't buy anyone, so it'd be foolish for us to sell anyone, so we didn't. And again, it was just the waiting game of seeing what would happen. New York City FC came in for Brian, of all the people. Can you believe this? That you can see there, it was a bid made, and they've just offered him a contract. We can offer him a contract for 3 years, and he never ever gets a work permit. So we literally have to wait and see. The chances are Brian will now leave and move on to different things, which is a big shame, because he was a keeper that I wanted to keep around. And there it is then. Consortium completes Salford takeover, but it wasn't done there, folks. You can see there that Oakley Jepson has successfully completed the takeover of Salford, replacing the owner Peter Lim. I'll keep the intro though. This is the man they want to replace me with, apparently. He looks good. He's been in England a few times now. He's been at numerous different clubs, Southampton and Villa, and he was even England manager, and that's the man they wanted to replace me. So we got a personal message from Oakley Jepson, our new chairman Oakley Jepson. Thank you for your patience during what has been an undoubtedly stressful time for those involved at the club. Jepson informs you that around 8.75 million has been pumped into the club's coffers, and a new transfer budget has been calculated. Josh Hudson and Patrick Godbold have joined the directors, and added that although it's been his intention to appoint a new manager following the takeover, he will consider, thank you mate, letting me keep my job, and will inform me of the decision shortly. So again, back to the waiting game. You can see there the finances of Salford, 16 million in the bank now after that takeover, and here we go again then, back waiting to decide. And it was literally me deciding what to do. The transfer embargo was still in place. I had to just sit and wait and wonder if we were ever actually going to stay at Salford, or if he was going to ship me out. And as I say, at this point you still don't know. It's strange having a takeover of a club. For those that don't know, I did a stream save with Great Yarmouth, and the exact same thing happened, and they sacked me. Would it be deja vu is the big question. We always went off to Jordan Road, so that's how desperate things had got. But yeah, they'd sacked me, which was disappointing. Then you can see Brian's work permit application rejected once again, which means I don't really know what happens with him. So yeah, it happened before, so I was very nervous at the fact it could well happen again, and it's just continuing, and every time you get some news, you're very excited about the news, but it's not the news you want to know what the situation is. You can see there odds of 40-1 to go up this season. Villa, Bournemouth, Palace, Forest and Norwich, along with Watford, are the favourites. But yeah, personal message from Oakley Jepson. New chairman Oakley Jepson has informed you that you'll be allowed to stay on as manager of Salford. The story continues, people. He added he was impressed by the fact that people liked me, and the board have lifted the transfer embargo, so players can now be bought. Were you nervous? I was bloody nervous. I'll tell you now, I was sitting there thinking, what am I actually going to do? And I tweeted out that hypothetically, what would happen. At that point, I hadn't even had a takeover. I didn't even know. It was literally hypothetical. You can see that Rob Wellington has departed and gone to Leeds on a free. Wanted 20 grand a week, and we just can't offer that. So this is the squad we have at this stage. Brian's still around. He's not yet gone to New York City. And we've got Jim Williams back, as well as Quilty. Both players have come back on loan for another season, but there is plenty to be done with that squad. So if you've enjoyed the video and enjoyed the takeover, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with you soon. I should clarify now that I am away at the moment, so if there's not a video the next couple of days, be sure that next week we'll have 6 to 7 videos for you anyway, and probably one over the weekend as well. So much love, thank you for the support, and I'll see you again soon. The story continues.